because of the juxtaposition of the destruction that the hurricanes had brought to the island.
When we were flying in, I definitely noticed that there were a lot of blue tarps on a lot of the roofs, mostly because of what apparently was wind damage. And so when it would rain, people's belongings and their houses would just get soaked. So when we were flying overhead, it seemed like almost every house, if not like every other house, at least in some of the areas that we saw, all had these blue tarps.
When we were driving towards the lighthouse, you could see there was a bunch of garbage and junk just lying on the side of the road.
So the first day we worked at the reserve, we were working in and around the greenhouses they had down there, and in the greenhouses they were nursing trees. They have a goal to plant 1 million trees in Puerto Rico, so that's a really ambitious goal. And then the other days, we spent bushwhacking trails through the reserve that will become open to the public eventually, and they will be part of a nature tour.
So at the preserve, we gathered a bunch of supplies together. We ended up packaging all these things together, and then we went out to East Fajardo, which was about 15 minutes from where we were staying, over on that northeast tip of the island.
They had no water, they had no food, they were really they didn't have electricity, so they were putting their clothes on the clothesline. There was a random horse that no one knew who it belonged to, so it was eating grass in the street.
And we just went around, going and knocking from door to door, saying, good afternoon, where are you? We're here to help you out. I think it was really helpful for a lot of people. Some people told us, as I might have already mentioned, that we were the first people to go into that area. And it was really exciting, but also sad to see the hopeful looks on these people's faces once we handed them some supplies, and made a difference for them, I hope.
Serve on a bus, and we traveled to San Juan to a Boys and Girls Club. It's kind of like an after-school program in that kind of sense. And so we arrived there in the morning, and we spent most of the morning doing odd jobs around the Boys and Girls Club, which that had received no structural damage from the hurricane. So it was mostly just we were organizing stuff in a back room. We were clearing some debris that had been left outside.
So we found a bunch of books that got really soiled, so we ended up just throwing those out. Justin threw a mirror off the roof, so we had to clean up those glass shards. At something like 2:30 p.m. or so is when I think the kids showed up, and we ended up just playing with the kids for a good hour and a half or so. We were playing ping pong, and I was playing with some of these kids in the gym. We were doing an obstacle course. I ended up losing the race for us, but I think they forgive me. Team Lion represent.
Getting to interact with the Puerto Rican people was really great, and especially being able to speak Spanish, because we didn't have so much of a language barrier. That allowed me to kind of have more casual and cordial conversations with these people, especially a few of the workers.
Es una forma de arte.
One of them, while he was driving, he sang a few songs for us, and Ashley, one of the girls in our group, sang a few songs for him.
Pecho me duermo contigo, mas luego despierto. Tú no estás conmigo, solo está mi almohada.
And so that was a really great exchange just to have, because the Puerto Rican people are really amazing people.
Since this hurricane had come through, you kind of had to rely more on your neighbors, and so it seemed like there was really a stronger communal aspect to what the towns that we saw, more so than I would say, I see here in Rochester where I live now. So it's unfortunate that in the wake of, those sorts of things that people come together because, they literally need to survive, but at the same time that was definitely their resiliency that was showing through.
Like what really struck me was that these people seemed in good spirits. It was amazing because, you know, that they had been without power, without water, or they had power or water that was on or off. It was intermittent, and despite this, they were still happy, and they had a smile on their face, and they weren't just surviving, but they were enjoying themselves. So that was a real kind of reality check.
So the people really are doing their best, but it's really important that like we continue to help them in any possible way because they really do need it.